You mentioned about the earth energy, Juliana, and even at Anya Wellness, we believe that we need to heal naturally to heal the nature. And whatever we are doing today, like I am living in India, and because of global warming, the temperatures are soaring high. It's getting really difficult to live in summers as well as in winters. It's getting to the extreme points. Places which were not experiencing more than 35, 36 during the summers are now touching somewhere around what 51, 52. We have certain areas in India which have even gone beyond 53 right now. So help me understand, like with a lot of healing practices already going out there, what are some of the things which we individuals or we humans can do better to make this earth heal faster and not, get more deteriorating every day? So what are, your thoughts
Right.
on this?
I see many solutions, and it feels easier when you are connected to such a beautiful, powerful energy like the quantum reality, which is the creation of all. And I created this. And of course, one of my biggest issues with the quantum reality is that I can't reach people fast enough and for long enough for people to understand the importance of creating the planet Earth as like a living Earth, a like what it was when we arrived. And so, because the earth was protecting us, the earth is our home, the earth is what keeps us alive. So, if we don't stop destroying the earth, we will die with it. So, we all know that, but a lot of people need more information. One of the biggest things is, I think, is about to happen now is the economic healing. I call everything healing because I think even the economy needs healing. A lot of things need healing. I feel that the economy has changed the way that humans live. So we need to go back to the earth. We need to live like what we used to live like in the past, even if it's in a beautiful house, because we have the power to create beautiful things. We create the beautiful Hindu statues, Ganesh and all of that. Why can't we create a beautiful house for us to live, and why can't we just help each other like we help the gods that we think it exists? So I feel that because our body is is disconnecting from the reality in the earth, it's been problematic. So we've created we block rivers, we've created too much concrete things that are blocking, stopping the environment to become more biodiverse. We all know, even in my country, in Brazil, the Amazon, as soon as you cut some parts of the Amazon, country gets hotter. We're all creating those, like, sponge cities in China now to,
Mhm.
create all of that mangrove to grow again. So I think I feel that the people that have the most consciousness or highest consciousness, they're going to strive and try to bring the earth back to what it was before. But I feel that I think there was a company, I don't know if it was the Venus Project, that has solutions for everything. If you guys follow the Venus, Jacques Fresco, I think his name is Venus Project, he has a solution for everything. Why people are not looking his idea of life, of cities, his plans for cities. He created about two or three in America now, vertical gardens, vertical things, vertical, so the people can shrink a little bit, live together, and have the environment growing again. And we can walk on the earth like we used to, and walk in the forests and clean all the rivers and bring all the fish back, because that is going to cool the earth. The way that the earth was before, it was the perfect climate. We've created a full-on carbon dioxide wall when we can't breathe in here anymore, because the amount of mining, the amount of things that we're pretty much destroying the environment and blaming on something that we think it always existed. Climate change have never existed
Yeah.
until industrial age, so it's our fault. So I feel, even like with quantum transformational healing, like I ditched my degree at the end, right at the end, when I was at the last semester, the last month of my full-time degree of traditional Chinese medicine and the health science degree, which cost me more than $100,000. I walked out. I walked out and I said, I don't need a piece of paper. I don't need to be associated with anybody. I'm going to change the mindset of the people. And I don't think people need just a massage or a healing. I think people need to be glued on again. We need the information to come through. Even with social media, we have to change social media. We have to change the way that we see ourselves. And we need to bring up, like what you're bringing with your podcast, bring up knowledge, because we know that the era of Aquarius is the era of knowledge, and knowledge is going to change us. Because I don't know one human being that wouldn't like to be in a perfect environment. We all want to be in a perfect environment.
Yeah.
Some people are going to move to Mars to find out that it's not, it's really worse than being 50 degrees. So there's no point trying to do that if we have everything here. In the quantum reality, they believe that the knowledge will bring salvation.
Totally, totally. I agree and align with these thoughts. Something if I talk about India, the place where I'm living right now, just next to the capital of India, AQI was never a major challenge if I look way back 2014 or 2015, 2014, 2015. Since
Mhm.
2017, AQI has become a major challenge for us. It's like we are living in a gas chamber, if I have to put it in that very manner. AQI is reached to a level of 500, 600 now. And something that I want to understand how things are happening in Australia as well over on this front. Because it's going to be a combined effort of the government as well as the citizens out there. Government cannot do anything all alone, and the citizens cannot do anything all alone. But what I have been majorly experiencing is there's a lot of talk and chatter happening, but not a very mass scale solution being presented. The way I take to my office every day, there is a particular place where there is, and again, I'm going to be talking this on an international platform, which I should not be, but there's this whole hill of garbage, which is now going to convert into a mountain soon. And it's growing year on year, and not even year on year, month on minute. It's just growing and growing and growing. There's no sustainable solution coming out around these things. The media would flash it, everything would happen. People are being, fed up of these things, but nobody really wants to get out of the comfort space. You rightly said that not even one individual would not want to live in a perfect environment. But are we ready to take those steps? And often the answer is a silent yes, but a louder no. So, what are your thoughts on this, and how are things happening in Australia on this?
Australia is very advanced in many ways. Like rubbish gets collected every week in front of people's houses on like wheelie bins. Nobody touches it. It's an incredibly safe country, very clean. There's parks everywhere. There's hardly any homeless people, but there are homeless people here with mental health issues and also drug issues. But it's very small in comparison to where you are and even Brazil. Although on another hand, we have a lot of mines here, so it gets really hot in summertime. Nobody lives in the desert. Everybody lives in a coastline. We have had a few floods, but even the native people here, the Aborigine, bless them, said, why build houses on those places? Like we already knew for many years that you shouldn't build houses in certain places. So listening to the elders and listening to the indigenous people that have known the land for such a long time as well, it's nonetheless knowledge. But in saying that as well, Australia has only 23 million people. So in comparison to our countries, it's a huge difference. So you're trying to create economic development for 1 million people, 300 million people. But yeah, like I said, I think the Venus Project has the solutions for everything. And I feel that it's not so much the money, but I feel that it's more education. So trying to tell people and also I feel, why are we buying products that are in plastic? Why are the big corporations still selling products that here we have to recycle them anyway? And we're in a first world country. So why are we still buying things that don't biodegrade? Why are we still creating more rubbish? Why is the rubbish coming from big corporations like Coca-Cola and Pepsi and all of those huge corporations that are everywhere? But at the same time, it's supply and demand. We all know it's supply and demand. So the more the people get educated about what they should do and what they should not do, also being willing to do it, right? So I think the healing, the quantum healing, the energy healing, the mentorships, the psychologists, the doctors, the holistic doctors, we all had to learn the hard way as well, you know. Because you don't know the amount of harm that you're causing just by opening a cookie jar or using those, like, you know, plastic bottles. You know, I remember I had this, I used to put challenges in my life, and I go, I'll make sure that by the end of the week, my wheelie bin, which is the bins that we take out in the streets, it's empty.
Nice.
And I did that, you know, or at least I downsized, because the kids is a downsize. So I started purchasing food that are not wrapped on anything yet. Started going to the markets and buying straight out of the markets. Here we're having a problem with the big supermarkets. The prices are really astronomical. Someone have just posted that the Australian meat is cheaper in Japan than in Australia. So it's like, you know, they're using the fact that we earn more money here to also put the prices up. So they're not actually looking at the environment. They're not being sustainable. So when people start to analyze that, you go, well, the meat is really only costs the farmer's wage.
Mhm.
That's how much it costs. It doesn't cost being a pretty shelf and a full-on cold fridge in some pretty shop out in the middle of the shopping mall called Woolworths or Coles, or there's big supermarkets here. So I feel that if you stop going for the glitter and the show, you know, look, life is so pretty out there, and they make it look so amazing, you know, they try to get you in, and you know, and try to get you to buy the product. I have a bachelor's of advertising and marketing. I worked for the media from 18 years old to about 26 years old, you know. And I was like, wow, people being manipulated. Everybody's being manipulated. This is so horrible. You know, even like V drinks, mothers and things like those, it's polluting your heart, polluting your health, polluting your life, polluting your environment, creating more rubbish that you have to pack up on your own, take it outside. And
Yeah.
so why not change the lifestyle? Why not show that on social media as well? Can we show ourselves like not going to the shopping mall and buying things in plastic bags, but going to the local farmers market, you know, and supporting those smaller people? But regardless, I feel that yes, there is an astronomical amount of Australians very guilty of that as well. I want more, 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 more. You know, I want more. I want. It's like an ego thing. It's an egotistical thing. Like I want to have everything. I want more, and then they drive through 5 different shops before they get home. You know, and they buy everything in plastic, and you're like, here everybody has to use biodegradable one-use forks. Here the law is changing a little bit here. It's changed a lot here. There's not much plastic, but still there is plastic. So, but also because the people have changed their consciousness.
Mhm.
So a lot of things happen really fast here in Australia because um, you know, everybody got access to everything. We have access to phones, computers, we have access to the information. People are actually talking about it. So the more we talk about it, the people that have the higher consciousness, I guess they know who they are. They should be actually talking up, speaking up. You should be using your social media to, you know, to show people the adverse effects of the comfort in Leo will do to
Yeah.
us and have done to us. Because comfort only you regret comfort. We regret comfort in many ways. A lot of the mental health patients that I have, they bored
Yeah.
and they comfortable. They earn really well. So I feel that the information is like, get moving, change everything, sell your house, buy another one, change cities, do walkabouts, you know. Like move, go and shop in another shopping mall, go to a different place, support the people who are actually doing something to the world, not the people who already got everything.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
share the energy, and do it with passion, not just like I'm gonna do it because it's the right thing. We don't need the right thing anymore. I think we need people that will change things because it's time to change. We have energy in the quantum that will make you realize that. I've had information, I think you're gonna touch, it's one of your questions. It's like give us an example of, you know, like the how successful the quantum has been with my patients or
Mhm.
people that have gained from quantum transformational healing or quantum healing or just the quantum itself because it's one energy. one intellect.
No, I totally, align with your thoughts, Juliana, on this. And while the Indian government has been doing a lot of efforts, the population is a challenge over here. The lot of plastic ban drive did a lot of reduction in plastic. During the COVID, at once I was ordering a lot of cold storage food. While it was impacting my health, that was one of the concerns. But the moment I sort of realized the amount of plastic waste I was creating, I stopped ordering it from the very next day. I became very selective on that. If it was like a very long period and too much of that desire coming in, I want to have it today, that's where. But
Yeah.
instead of having it on a weekly basis, it turned into monthly, and today I don't find anything on a cold storage in my freezer now. So those sort of changes, and I guess the conversation sort of can be put to a place where instead of people saying why me, the conversation becomes why not me. So because government can do create new laws, put in restrictions, but it's the citizens who have to follow it. At the time, even elections are for, like right now, it's the election season going on in India. The mandates have these policies and all those things. The government can only implement them if the citizens are ready to, work in those implementation, guidelines.